See, I know a lot of you guys are going to find it really, really sad, but I actually quite like taking medicine, and I'm not really ashamed of it. I don't really know why, but yeah. So a while back, I had to go to the dentist, and they put on, or did, a root canal thing on me, which was quite horrendous at the time and wasn't really the most enjoyable thing in my life, especially since they didn't numb my mouth whatsoever. Um, but yeah, and over the past couple of months, the root canal has sort of failed, um, in that whatever it is that they shove up there has come back out. So, yeah, yesterday I had sort of like a little boil type thing, um, over the tooth on the outer part of the gum, and that was really, really painful. And I kept like brushing it and putting toothpaste on it and all that kind of stuff, because toothpaste is meant to make spots go down, and I don't know why I thought that was a good idea, but there was a theory behind it. Anyway, so I did that and it really didn't work. And then today, as you might be able to tell, I've woken up and this cheek is more swollen than this one. So I've called the dentist, and luckily for me, they've had a cancelled appointment this afternoon. So I am going into the dentist, and while I can't film in the dentist, you guys are going to get to see what happens to me today, and that should be quite good fun. So let's roll them titles. And here I am, all these hours later. This is the first time I've actually been able to talk since this afternoon at the dentist. Um, so my face may look a little bit more swollen than it was before, and that is because I kind of wasn't expecting this afternoon to pan out the way that it did. Basically, I got into the dentist, he laid me back in the chair, and I explained about the tooth and the problems and all that kind of stuff, and he just said, well, there's only one thing left for us to do, and that is to take the tooth out. So I am now on amoxicillin. That's what I'm on. Joy, isn't it? It's great. I'm on that for the next 2 weeks, to clear up the infection. And obviously the main part of the news is he took the tooth out. Because I was filming this, and I know what you guys are like, I have actually kept the tooth. I asked to keep hold of the tooth, I don't know why. But I'm fascinated by it. If you don't want to see this shit, turn the video off. This is La Tooth. Yeah, this is what got pulled out. Basically, this is the way that it was sat in my mouth. It's hollowed out on the inside because I'd had a root canal done. So, and it's obviously not the greatest thing to look at, because obviously there was a mountain of infection around this as well. So yeah, this is like I just find it so fascinating. I've never seen, let alone what the innard of my tooth looked like in my gum, but just kind of what any tooth looked like. I mean, I think you probably can't really see it there, but when you've actually got hold of the tooth, you can actually see the part of like where it's been in the gum, and where it has not been in the gum. I've had a tooth taken out a couple of months ago. It's this back one down here. It was probably about a year ago, actually, or just over. When that got taken out, that was relatively pain-free. Like, I think the biggest part to hurt on that was actually getting the numbing injections put in. The rest of it, fine, didn't feel a thing. Tooth came out, whatever, sorted. This one was a little bit more painful. Um, Basically, the tooth had a root canal done on it about 4 months ago, something like that. The root canal had come out, and obviously infections got in and infected like the gum, and now it's spread to the cheek as well. Um, so yeah, so what happened was he injected um, into the infected area, which is like the cheek and that part of the gum. Then and that was actually pain free. I didn't, honest to God, I didn't feel that injection at all. And then he injected the kind of middle part of my mouth, and that hurt like a motherfucker. But I'm kind of one of them when I go into a dentist to sort of put me a little bit more at ease. I always kind of think of like, you know, medieval dentistry or something like that. You know, when they didn't have these injections to numb you, they would literally just rip your teeth out and that kind of thing. That's what I always think of. And I'm like, well, at least I've got numbed to do this. You know, it's not as bad as it used to be. So that's actually what I use as my thought of this isn't hurting as much as it would have done. So be thankful you're getting it now. So he done the injection and it went numb eventually. Pardon me. Only the infection area didn't seem to numb at all. So when he's like going up with this kind of stabby thing, don't know what it was, I could actually feel it on the outer part of the gum. That was really weird. And I did actually have to stop him at one point because I was just like, ugh! He's there with this thing in my mouth. I can't really make any noise apart from, ugh! So he stopped and he was like, I'm really sorry, but I've got to do this. Then came the pliers. At first, it felt like he was pushing up against the tooth, and I'm like, why is he doing this? Then he started pulling down, and I was like, oh, it's really weird. And because he drilled away a little bit of the tooth, so there'd been the drill noises, there'd been that Hoover Dyson thing that they stick into your mouth. Like there'd been quite a lot of noise in the room, and obviously he'd stopped drilling, so the Hoover thing got turned off, the driller got turned off, and all I can hear is like this radio that's on quite quietly in the background. And I don't want to gross you out too much, but the only noise that I can describe it as, you know, if you put a really crispy crisp into your mouth and you bite on it, that noise that you hear like in your head is what I heard from this tooth. Like I can only presume it's as like the top of the tooth is starting to break away from my skull. Um, but that's what I heard, and I swear to God, that noise will never leave me. It was the most horrible noise, but you can't say anything because he's got a pair of pliers in your mouth and he's pulling away at a tooth, and you just like it's gonna happen. It was horrendous. Eventually, after about a minute, or it felt like fucking 5 minutes, but after a little while, the tooth must have eventually just gone, whatever, I'm on my way out, and it gave up, and the tooth came out and everything like that. Because the area was infected, there was quite a bit of blood apparently coming out. He was like, you need to get that Hoover back in there because that's leaking. So the Hoover went back in. There's apparently quite a bit of the infection coming out, and it's not on there now because I kind of think, well, if you've made it to this part of the video, I can be a little bit more graphic, but there's like a lot of blood on this. So I presume this is where it's come from. But when he actually pulled the tooth out, he did show it to me, and I can't remember exactly how he held it, but I think it was about here, and there was just massive like blood clot around it, and it was like that's like the boil thing that you were saying was in your mouth, and I'm like, uh-huh. She's still there with the fucking Dyson in my mouth. Um, but yeah, so I found it fascinating, and then obviously there was a lot of the infection coming out, but there was a lot of blood as well. So he made me bite um on the uh tissue, I want to call it. I don't know what the technical name for it is, but it's like tissue in a mesh type thing. Um, and he wanted to obviously stop the blood flowing into my mouth, so he had to push on it, and that was just the worst bit. Even I was in the chair like, oh. He's like, I'm really sorry, I've got to push up on this because, you know, it's got to stop the bleed. So I had to bite on that for like the best part of an hour, and then my mouth just tasted of blood, and I was like, this is disgusting. And luckily, in the little bag that he'd given me, he'd put another one in anyway, so I was like, right, I'm just gonna spit that out. That was minging, and put the other one back in, and I think I lasted about 45 minutes with that one in, and I was just like, do you know what? I'm that tired. I'm going to sleep. Because there was like a bit of a dull aching pain, that there wasn't with the last one, so I can only presume it's like as the infection is moving around. Um, but yeah, um, so I had that in, but even as I'm talking to you now, like it still tastes of blood. Let me just go through this with you because this is so good. This is the aftercare for extractions and oral surgery, which even the paper smells of the dentist. It's got that smell. Horrible smell. I hate the dentist. I don't hate the dentist. I hate the smell of the dentist. I don't know what stuff it is that they use to clean all this stuff with, but it fucking stinks. Um, okay, so this is on the do list. Do start warm, salty mouthwashes after 24 hours. 1 teaspoon of salt in a beaker full of warm water. I don't have a beaker, I have a cup. Um, there should be These should be used as often as possible, and particularly after meals. Continue for at least 5 days. Normal toothbrushing can usually be started 24 hours after 24 hours, unless otherwise directed by the dentist. My dentist has said, not tonight. Um, Possibly try and start tomorrow, but obviously if the area is sensitive, then don't. Um, Bite on a clean cotton wool handkerchief, not tissue, if bleeding occurs. If the bleeding is not controlled after 30 minutes, then contact the surgery. Now, I have got at the bottom here, because obviously the dentist surgery isn't going to be open 24 hours. There is an emergency number for me. So maybe the taste of blood might be something to be concerned about. Um, Take painkillers if required. I have my paracetamol ready, and what time did I have it? I think I got into mine at about 3:30, and I've already gone through 4 paracetamol already. And to be fair, it is actually working. It is taking the pain off. Take painkillers if required. Paracetamol and ibuprofen are usually effective, but do not exceed the recommended dosage. Aspirin is best avoided, and ibuprofen should not be taken if you are asthmatic or have a stomach ulcer. I don't know if I have a stomach ulcer. Might explain why my stomach's big. Anyway, take it easy for the rest of the day. Remember that there is often swelling after a dental operation, and there may be difficulty opening the mouth. There is a little bit of difficulty opening the mouth, I'm not going to lie. Okay, this is on the do not list. This is why I'm so fucking grumpy tonight. Okay, so do not use mouth rinse for the first 24 hours. Fair enough. I don't really rinse my mouth out. Have food or drink for the first couple of hours afterwards. This was a real killer, because when I went into the dentist surgery, I wasn't expecting him to take the tooth out. So I wasn't hungry as such. I'd eaten in the morning, but yeah, I couldn't even have like a drink of water or anything like that. It was, it was kind of just like, we're taking it out. Like, well, he didn't even say that. It was kind of just when I saw him prepping the needle next to me, I was like, oh, this is coming out. Take alcohol or smoke for the rest of the day. There is 2 hours. No, hang on. An hour and 22 minutes until I can have a fag. Trust me, I will be having a fucking fag. Eat hard food for 24 hours. Yeah. I have to wait until 2 o'clock. Half 2, no. Let's call it 3, because I don't know what time it is. So 3 o'clock in the afternoon, tomorrow, is when I can start to eat things again. Looks like I'm on fucking soup. Bite your lip or tongue if they are numb, or do any vigorous exercise or heavy lifting for the first 24 hours. So I kind of read that after I'd walked 45 minutes home. Mainly uphill as well. That's a joy. The eating hard food things, in fact, the food and drink things is also kind of restricted, because I can't have hot drinks. I can't have cold drinks. They have to be at room temperature. And I can't eat hard foods. So I'm like, okay, I can have soup. Wait, no, I can't have soup because soup has to be warm. Can't have soup. Can't have bread because that's hard food. I've got to starve. Yeah, that's what's going to happen to me. I've got to starve. Great, nice one, thank you. But I do know from all of this that a lot of people are going to be sat there and they're going to be going, I'm really scared of going to the dentist and everything like that. Listen, my thought on it is I might be in a little bit of pain at the moment, but you know what? In the long run, I'm not in any pain. Well, not going to be in any pain caused by this. The other thing is use the thought that I use as well. You know, dentistry years and years ago, they didn't have things to numb you. They didn't have half the instruments that they've got. They didn't have electric drills. They didn't even have the chair to recline you in. They didn't have any of this. And it's like, well, people still went through with dentist stuff then, and they probably thought, no, it's not that bad. So, you know what? Dentistry has come a long, long way. And even though there is still things being changed and all that kind of stuff, the main thing about the dentist is they're there to make sure that your teeth not only look good, well, maybe not mine, but they are there to make sure that your mouth is healthy. And if you have to go through a little bit of pain, there is no pain without gain. That's all I can say on it. Don't be afraid of going to the dentist and just man the fuck up.